10 years ago, humanity faced the worst epidemic the world had ever seen. A virus spread, killing people, and then bringing them back to life as zombies. After that, a brutal war broke out between humans and zombies. The zombies attacked their own families and friends because they were not conscious of what they were doing. In a short time, this virus managed to kill 2 billion people. A global organization managed to save humanity. Together with the governments, they controlled the outbreak and completely wiped out the zombies. They no longer existed among people. The only place left on Earth where zombies still existed was an isolated island called the Rezort. This island became a resort, allowing ordinary people to go there after paying fees, spend an entertaining time, and hunt zombies. The person behind this project was a woman named Valerie, who also funded a charity called Hope for You. Valerie became well known in the media as the CEO of the resort, but opinions were divided. Some saw the resort as an excellent investment project, while others attacked Valerie, considering it a violation of human rights. We are then introduced to Melanie, one of the survivors of the epidemic, but until now, she has been unable to overcome the trauma she suffered back then. Her fiancé Louis wanted to help her with these struggles. He decided to take Melanie to the resort, believing this would give her the chance to face her greatest fear, zombies. By killing some of them, she could finally overcome her trauma. Melanie also couldn't sleep, suffering from nightmares about her father, who had died during the human-zombie war. Then the day of the trip to the resort arrived. Melanie was afraid, but Louis was by her side, reassuring her. Melanie then met a little girl who had been saved by the Hope for You organization during the epidemic. The organization had taken in refugees after the end of the world. Melanie and Louis boarded the ship, sailing across the ocean. With them were other people who came to hunt zombies, including some investors who had plans to establish a new resort. Also among them was a woman named Sadie, whose fiancé had left her recently, so she came to the resort to release her anger. The tourists then arrive at the zombie island. The staff welcomes them, offering hospitality drinks. They board vehicles and are driven to their accommodations. They meet a woman named Isabel, who shows them the mansion and takes each tourist to their room, since they will be spending several days on the island. Later, Melanie decides to go down to the swimming pool. After that, the tourists are taken to the shooting training area. Melanie's fiancé, Louis, was a former soldier in the army, so Melanie didn't need an instructor. She relied on Louis to teach her. Afterwards, everyone gathers for a small welcome party. There, they meet the resort's director, Valerie, who gives a speech. During the speech, Sadie slips away, sneaks into the control room, and steals some data from the resort's computer. At the same time, Valerie presents a zombie to the tourists, chained up, telling them that the resort was created as a place to celebrate, to let out negative energy, and also to celebrate the end of the epidemic. Sadie leaves after stealing the data she wanted, saving it to a flash drive. But a man named Archer sees her leaving the room and is surprised that she slipped out of the party. Still, he doesn't pay much attention to it. The next morning, Melanie is walking around the place and sees an employee tying up the zombie that had been presented at the party yesterday. Melanie feels uncomfortable after seeing the zombie because she feels bad. They used to be humans once, and now they're treated this way. Later, the tourists go out to hunt zombies. They get into vehicles and are split into 2 groups, each with a guide. In Melanie's group, their guide is Tom, who tells them they're going to have a great time. Meanwhile, in the control room, Valerie is present, monitoring all the tourists' movements. The vehicles carrying the tourists leave the garage. Suddenly, the alarm goes off for no reason. The security system malfunctions. Salva, the staff member in charge, silences the alarm and ignores the fault, not considering it a serious problem. After that, the tourists see an iron fence dividing the park into 2 sections. This prevents the zombies from crossing over. Tom tells them that once they cross the iron fence, they will be on their own, and their lives will be in danger. If, God forbid, anyone is bitten by a zombie, nothing can be done to save them. They will turn into a zombie. If that happens, they will be forced to sacrifice the person who was bitten and kill them. The tourists had already been informed of all the risks before arriving on the island, so they were not surprised by Tom's words. Other tourists were there as well, and they began shooting at the zombies. Sadie records what is happening. The group of investors heads into the abandoned city. The zombies there were chained up so that the tourists could kill them more easily. The challenge increases a little, and they all gather to kill the zombies they encounter. We move to the group with Louis and Melanie as they prepare for their first battle. Melanie panics when she sees hundreds of zombies standing in front of her. 2 men, Jack and Alfie, grab their weapons and start shooting enthusiastically, saying they have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Louis joins them and manages to kill a zombie, shooting it in the head, the only way to kill them. He then hands the weapon to Melanie, urging her to shoot as well, but she refuses to aim when she sees the zombie's face and feels pity for it. Archer, however, takes his weapon and kills the zombie mercilessly. Every shot he fires hits the zombies' heads perfectly, impressing everyone with his skill. After that, most of their ammunition is spent on the zombies. They then go to camp in the forest that night. Archer grows more suspicious of Sadie because of her strange behavior. After everything she has seen on the island, Melanie says that this trip to the resort was a bad idea since she cannot bring herself to shoot a zombie. Meanwhile, back in her office, Valerie is still facing the unresolved security system problem. Salva comes to her and tells her that the resort was hacked yesterday. Hundreds of files were stolen, and a dangerous virus infiltrated their security system. The technicians and staff still don't know who did it. He explains they have been busy recently trying to control the devices across the island. If this virus problem isn't fixed, the resort will be overrun with zombies. Suddenly, the zombies that were imprisoned begin to break free, and the cages holding them start to open. At night, the group of investors was searching for a place to camp, but they were attacked by the zombies that had broken free. Inside the mansion, the staff were also attacked. In the middle of the chaos, Isabel tried to escape, but the zombies chased her and ate her alive. Minutes later, the zombies reached the control room and attacked the staff, but Valerie managed to escape, hide in her office, and save herself. One of the staff members kept banging on her door, begging her to open it, but Valerie, afraid, didn't open. He was killed and turned into a zombie. The emergency security protocol then activated automatically. This system was designed to destroy the island completely within a few hours. Meanwhile, with Melanie's group, the team was sleeping at the camp, but Melanie got up and went for a walk, finding Sadie still awake. Melanie asked her why she was awake, and Sadie said she couldn't sleep. So Melanie sat with her, and they had a drink and talked, unaware of the chaos happening elsewhere. Suddenly, a zombie approached them. Melanie rushed to wake up the rest of the team while Sadie aimed her weapon at the zombie but didn't fire. Archer saw the zombie and killed it immediately with a shot straight to the head. When Tom arrived, he was shocked. Normally, no zombie could escape. Lewis asked Tom why he was so shocked, since they had already crossed the iron fence. Tom told him that there was also an electric fence that kept the zombies out. Tom then turned on the Jeep's headlights to check if there were more zombies around. They discovered many zombies very close to them. Archer immediately opened fire and the rest of the team helped him. Sadie and Melanie ran to hide. Tom tried to contact headquarters for help, but no one responded. While Melanie and Sadie were hiding, a zombie attacked Melanie and was about to bite her, but Sadie appeared and pushed the zombie away. Because the situation was too dangerous, they all climbed on top of the Jeep to avoid being bitten, but Alfie was bitten as he tried to climb up, and unfortunately, they had to kill both him and the zombie. They managed to kill all the zombies, and things calmed down a little. Still, the group remained afraid another wave might come, so they stayed on top of the Jeep all night. In the morning, Tom told them no help would come. The emergency protocol had certainly been triggered, and the island would explode within hours. They had to escape quickly before that happened. But the Jeep they had was broken, so they were forced to walk to the harbor and take the ship from there. Jack said goodbye to his friend Alfie, who had died, and joined the team. They then set off toward the harbor, with only 5 hours left until the explosion. The team hadn't even made it halfway yet, and Archer was leading them since he had more experience than the rest. A zombie suddenly appeared and attacked Jack, but luckily Tom managed to kill the zombie before it bit him. When Tom examined the body, he discovered it was Mike, one of his colleagues from the resort. Tom panicked, wondering what had happened to make things this dangerous, since the island's security systems were supposed to be very strong. Jack concluded that there must be a hacker behind this, and it could be anyone on the island. After walking a bit further, they came across the vehicle that had belonged to the investors group. Archer killed any zombies that came near, while the rest of the team crossed through a gate. Melanie was the first to make it to the other side, but she was attacked by a zombie. At the last moment, Sadie intervened, saving her by blowing the zombie's head apart. The entire team crossed the gate except Tom. Tom was attacked by zombies, bitten, and it was over for him. Lewis killed the zombie, then killed Tom himself. Melanie was devastated by what Lewis had done. They moved on quickly, and along the way, Melanie refused to speak to Lewis. Finally, Archer decided to expose Sadie in front of everyone. He revealed that he had seen her sneaking into the control room at the mansion at night, hiding from the security guards. He asked her why she had really come to the island. Sadie realized there was no point in lying anymore, and she admitted she had only taken some files from the computer. Sadie was a member of an organization that defended zombie rights. This organization wanted to stop the killing of zombies, and they had sent Sadie to copy some files from the resort's system. Jack then told her that the flash drive she used had a virus. That virus allowed her organization to gain full control of the resort. Sadie felt guilty for what had happened and was filled with disappointment. Lewis blamed her for everything, and the whole group turned against her, leaving her behind. But Melanie refused to abandon Sadie. The team continued their journey and reached the abandoned city. They heard faint noises and hid among the corpses scattered on the ground. They moved very cautiously, trying not to make a sound that might attract the zombies. But the building was full of zombies. The team split into two groups, and Jack and Sadie ran toward the back door. A zombie attacked Sadie, but she managed to kill it. However, she was injured in the process. Sadie told Jack to run quickly while she held off the approaching zombies to buy him time. Jack rejoined the rest of the team, and together they managed to pass through the fence safely. Only 1 hour remained before the island exploded. The team finds an underground tunnel leading to the harbor. They move forward a bit and see zombies locked in cages under high heat. They escape from that room, thinking they are safe, but suddenly a zombie appears and attacks Jack. Archer kills the zombie, but Jack is bitten. Archer is forced to kill him. Now only 3 remain: Melanie, Archer, and Lewis. The 3 continue moving and are shocked when they discover a refugee camp. This camp had been set up by the charity Hope for You. They realized that Valerie had been bringing refugees from all over the world to this camp, promising them shelter and housing. But in reality, Valerie was bringing bringing the refugees only to turn them into zombies, keeping the island always supplied. The hot room with zombies they saw earlier was designed to heat the zombies so they would appear older, hiding the fact that they had only recently turned. Suddenly, the refugee zombies pour out of the camp and attack them. Lewis and Melanie start running, while Archer fights off several of them. They all retreat, trying to close a door, but there were too many zombies. Lewis found an escape through the ceiling. Selfishly, he went first, leaving the others. Archer told Melanie to run, saying he would hold the door and then follow her. Melanie believed him and escaped to save herself. But once she was gone, Archer opened the door and killed as many zombies as he could. Now only 16 minutes remained before the explosion. Melanie walked through a corridor and arrived at the same place where she had first entered the island, and that place was also full of zombies. Suddenly, Lewis appeared in front of her. He apologized for leaving her behind and running away. Melanie then noticed the bite marks on his arm. She pointed her gun at him, but instead of shooting, she handed the weapon to him so she wouldn't be the one responsible. Lewis fired the gun on himself because there was no hope of saving him. Melanie ran into a room before the zombies could get her, and suddenly, she was pulled inside by Valerie. Valerie told her there was no way to escape except through the emergency exit. She wanted to distract the zombies so Melanie could get out, and asked her to hand over the gun, but Melanie refused to cooperate, telling her she was a monster. The two of them fought over the pistol, but the zombies broke into the room and devoured Valerie, finishing her off. Melanie escaped through the emergency exit and got outside the building, but the zombies were chasing her. Right then, the emergency protocol activated. An explosion started all over the island. Melanie barely avoided the blasts, jumped into the water, while the entire island burned and collapsed. Rescue helicopters arrived and pulled her out. 3 weeks later, the media was still talking about what happened on the island, and to everyone's surprise, we see Archer alive in a bar. Somehow he had managed to survive. He was watching Melanie on TV, as she had given the press Sadie's flash drive, which contained all the resort's files proving that Hope for You was behind turning the refugees into zombies. One report revealed to the public what happened to the zombies that had been on the island, but in the background, we see zombies attacking ordinary people. It turned out that many of them survived the explosions and escaped from the island, and so, the second war between humans and zombies was about to begin. And that's the end of the video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.